Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Elevate Your Life podcast. We are doing episode number 96 today, Cheryl.
Wow, 96.
Moving right along.
I love it.
Who would have believed that we would have done 96 podcasts by now?
I don't know, but I'm going to believe that myself.
I'm going to believe that as well, because we're going to be talking about beliefs today. So we've been going around the circle. Now, if you don't have the notes, you can go to elevateyourlife.com, get the notes there, and you can see the circle we're talking about. So there's a circle that goes around. The big word at the top is beliefs, but we haven't talked about that yet. We've talked about thoughts. We've talked about feelings. We've talked about actions. And today, last week we talked about results. And then today we're going to talk about beliefs. And so just to summarize things, Cheryl, our thoughts drive our emotions drive our actions drive our results, and our results drive our beliefs, which is super interesting. We're going to circle back to that, but if you're going to highlight something, it's that fourth thing, that our results drive our beliefs. So Cheryl, if someone gets on the scale and sees it not change or go up, that's a result that they see. What is their beliefs after seeing that?
Well, if your weight goes up, the beliefs are, oh my gosh, I can't do this. This is terrible. How did it go up? I've been trying so hard. I might as well just quit.
That's my favorite one. Okay, so you want to lose weight. You're going to go back to the way you used to eat that got you to this obscene amount of weight that you're at now. So how is that a better plan than what you're doing now?
Listen, if it's going up, I might as well eat nachos. Okay? Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. So we'll come back to that, but the results we're getting in life is driving our belief system. So what's happening subconsciously is your mind is always going back to your past and saying, well, I'm the type of person that blank, 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 blank. And you've designed this identity over the years. And from those results that you've gotten over the years, you're like, well, I believe I can blank. Maybe I believe I can do this or that or that. But there's also a lot of limiting beliefs that I don't believe I can do this or this or this. And that's what really, I think, stalls people, Cheryl. And we've seen that with working with health coaches, that they have great big goals and visions, but their belief in themselves is so low that they're not tapping into the potential they have. They're not taking the actions that they should be taking. They're just not seeing the results that they want to see. And when they don't see the results, their belief system just says, see, I told you you'd be no good at this. I told you this business thing is too hard. Go back and get a job.
Ugh, that's terrible. I don't want anyone to think that. If you want to be an entrepreneur, right, then we've got a system here where it's not hard to do, but you've just got to understand. And my whole thing, Paul, this last year has been become aware of what's going on, the things that are happening, the way that your mind is not your friend and is tricking you and is trying to keep you safe, right? And how to break out of that and how to really become the person that you were meant to be. And I think that that's what we're talking about, today is really, and I always love to go back to this, and it's belief in so many things and the beliefs that you have. But I think it all starts, Paul, with the belief in yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Because I think that can really take you such a long ways.
Yeah. But we've talked about this, Cheryl, where we told a story about me not showing up to dinner 3 nights in a row, but telling you that I was going to be there. So your belief in me to come on, that I'm going to show up on day 4 is like 0. You're like, I really had all this belief in Paul, and he hasn't showed up. He told me about these 3 dinners we were going to go to, and he didn't show up for any of them. So, and you can see how upset you would be at me for not coming to making those 3 appointments, those 3 dinners. And how your belief has gone down in me. Now reverse that to yourself and don't show up for something 3 days in a row or 30 days in a row or 300 days in a row.
Or ever.
Or forever. You just have no confidence in yourself because you've never showed up for anything.
Right. Right.
So I know Cheryl, people are like, well, what, I don't really believe that beliefs are that important, but there's one story that really that's our both of our favorite stories. So tell everyone the story about the 4-minute mile.
All right. So Roger Bannister. So back in, when was it? Like 1954, I guess it was. There was this belief before then that nobody could run under a 4-minute mile, and
you would die if you did it. I mean, your heart
would your heart would burst.
Yeah,
your heart would burst. You could. There's just there is no possible way that a human could run a 4-minute mile. And Roger Bannister said, "Oh well, I really believe that I can do that." And everyone, there's no way you could do that. There's no possible way. I mean, can you imagine people saying, or him saying, "Oh, I think I can run the 4-minute mile," and everyone just like naysaying? I mean, it's the same thing, right? When you become an entrepreneur, let's say, or when you decide, you know what, I'm going to take things into my own hands. I'm going to make my life different. I'm going to be different. And people are, "Oh yeah, right. Now stop it. That's never been done. You could never do that. Are you kidding me? You worked at Taco Bell. There's no way." Right. And the same thing was happening to Roger Bannister. But a big thing about him is he honestly believed that he could do it. He knew he could do it, and he was going to prove that he could do it. So he had a belief that was stronger than anything else that anybody was
absolutely
saying.
Certain he could do it.
He was positive.
Yeah.
And so what happens? He runs a mile in under 4 minutes. And now, since he did that, the very first person to ever do that in 1954, since that time, 1,663 athletes have run a mile in under 4 minutes. None of them have died. And so we do now, but now we believe that it can be done. Like, to me, I'm like, well, of course that can be done. So-and-so did it, right? But back then it was, nobody believed that, and it could never be done. And the thing that's interesting to me, Paul, is to think about what changed, right? Did the training change? Did what people were eating changed? Was it the air?
Roger ate better foods than other people.
Was the wind blowing a certain way at the exact time? What about the moon? Did that have anything to do with it?
There you go. No. We didn't check the moon phase on that day.
Right? But there was absolutely nothing that was different except one man's belief. That is so amazing to me. That is just so awesome.
Yeah. It's a fantastic story, and the potential to run a mile under 4 minutes was always there. So you have, we want you to understand that you do have massive potential. We're going to talk about potential in a second here, but if your belief isn't there, then you can't tap into that potential, and you won't be taking the actions you need to take, and you won't get the results you want. And then that's just going to further solidify these limiting beliefs that you're not good enough. But Cheryl, I want to really spend a minute talking about potential, because this is something we've gone back and forth with a couple of times. We've called some other things, but let's just bring some clarity to this word potential and what we mean when we say that.
Well, it might be one of my favorite words, Paul. Like, it really is like a word that's near and dear to my heart, because I believe that everybody has the potential to do whatever it is they want, right? Now, Paul, you were telling me a little bit earlier that there's no way you do not have the potential to be a professional athlete, a singer, or a painter. Now, I don't know about that. Paul,
well, I was watching Djokovic win his 7th Wimbledon, thinking to myself, that was awesome. Could I go next year and beat him? I mean, I think if I really applied myself, I mean, no other human has done it, be able to beat this guy. But, if I'm going to go out and say, I'm going to quit everything else in my life and just train for this, the potential's not there for me to do that. I mean, I've come to that realization. I see Tom Brady came out of retirement, 40 years old. I'm thinking, well, if he can do it, I can do it too. I can go be a quarterback for a professional football team.
Well, there you go. I mean, that has happened before. I'm
It
not sure
has.
they were your age. I'm not sure they were your age,
Well,
but
we're not going to give away that because I do look 40 still, even though
I'm
I'm
not.
50. But
I'm not. But let me tell you something, Paul. I'm not going to believe that you cannot be a painter, because I have seen some. What about, there's some things where I think maybe you could have been you had a real chance there with some paintings that I've seen
yeah,
before.
well, you haven't seen me draw a stick figure yet, so that is something.
I want you to open your mind. Open
Yeah.
your mind. It could be rolling around in paint on a canvas.
The big thing, well, I agree with that. And I think you can throw paint at a wall and make it look good. But where I really wanted to be is a singer. I feel like I should be a lead singer in a big band. And just travel and sing and everyone cheer for me.
I have a question. Can you yell?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of
'Cause
people
you
say I
never
look
know.
like Pitbull, so I could be
See?
Mr. Worldwide, but
Okay, see, there you go.
and I love to sing. I mean, I sing all the time. I have a lot of confidence that I'm a great singer. It's just nobody else does.
I see. So other people aren't seeing the potential that you're feeling inside.
Or the talent. Yeah.
Or the talent. Well,
They always ask me, Paul, who sings that song? And I'll be like, oh, it's so-and-so. Like, oh, let's keep it that way.
well, so do you think it's a good idea to pursue a profession that you have the potential to make it to the top in? I mean, is that really what it is? Is it understanding and knowing what your potential is, and then going after that?
Yeah, I first of all, we hear different things out there, like, pursue your passion. What do you? I don't know what to do with my life. Well, what are you passionate about? You should do what you're passionate about. This is the worst advice in history, because you're passionate about nachos, and I'm passionate about ice cream. Now, we pursue a career in those fields. We're going to be very unsuccessful in life. Okay. First of all, we're going to weigh 300 pounds.
Oh, I'm not going to be unsuccessful. I'm sorry. I'm going to be super successful. But I'm not sure if that's a good thing when it comes to me and nachos.
Right. So don't pursue your passion. That is the worst advice ever. We want to pursue a profession that you have the potential to go far in. So I believe everyone has God-given talents that they're given, in certain areas. So it's really taking a moment to identify what those talents are. And again, what I did is I started eliminating things like I don't have the potential for that or that or that or that. But, so I got involved in business. Now I really believe in business, it doesn't necessarily take talent, like, oh, this guy's super talented, or, that. I think, a lot of these guys are smart, but I think all these things they just learned over time. Like Elon Musk didn't just make all this money. He had rocket ships blow up and cars blow up and all kinds of bad things happened. I mean, he just kept on going and learning how to do it right, and that's really was. But you got to find that profession. And we're in direct sales. We love this profession, network marketing. We feel that anyone can come into this and learn the skills necessary to go from $0 to $1 million a year. I mean, the potential is actually unlimited here. And we're two great examples. I have no talent, and you weren't the most talented professional in the world.
No,
I
wasn't even a professional, let alone talented professional. But I think that it's interesting, Paul, when you say don't follow your passion, because that's always kind of been one of my things. Because but when I use that, I'm passionate about helping people. Like, I want to make a difference in people's lives. So when I follow my passion and do what I'm passionate about, I found something that I could learn, that I could get good at, that I could grow in, that I could become better at. But my big, huge overall thing was that I want to make a difference, in a positive difference in people's lives. And so for me, I still do feel like I'm following my passion. right? So I
Sure.
think there's a little, I think that it's kind of a little bit of a
Well, when you
word
could
game.
be passionate about a profession that you got a lot of potential in, that's just a win-win.
Right,
Um,
right. And I picked something that I picked a profession, right? An entrepreneur, being my own boss, because that's really best. But I picked a profession where my passion can be met, right? Right, where I can live out my passion too in life, which is
right, but
helping others.
the question I asked you earlier was, before we did this podcast, is if you left this profession now, I'm not going to be an entrepreneur anymore, and you did something else, you have the
Oh,
potential to be more successful or help more people in that other thing, whatever it is.
no, absolutely not. Because like I said, an entrepreneur to me, a big part of that is that I'm my own boss, and I cannot have a boss. I'm I'm like that. I can
This
promise you that
this
that's
is a
not gonna be
belief
good.
that you have
It's a-
in
it's a
ironclad.
belief. It is a belief that I have.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
believe that entrepreneurs can have have unlimited potential. I mean, you can
Oh,
build Amazon as big as you want. You can build Tesla as big as you want. I mean, there's
absolutely.
no ceiling on any of this stuff.
That's exactly right.
So very interesting. I know that your children have amazing talents that they've all gotten from you. Your son is all of a sudden found his talent, from doing a bunch of things, really not knowing what he really loves in life and kind of being even lost. I
Yeah,
think at times I saw
absolutely.
him struggling, but now he found tennis
Oh,
and he's become a different person. And is he passionate about it? Yes, but he also has tremendous talent in that area to
yeah.
be as good as he is.
And drive, which I think is a big thing too. I mean, we cannot forget about the feeling or of being driven to become the best you can be at what you've decided that you're going to be.
Yeah. Now, if you're Angelica, your daughter, and you have every talent in the world, she could be a professional singer, professional painter, professional athlete, professional dancer. I mean, you name it, she could be it.
Yeah, and
So
believe me, she
we're not
wants
as
to do it
lucky as
all.
she is. Yeah. We're not all as blessed as she
I'm
is.
not. I can tell you right now that I'm not. And but it's interesting because it's like I just got in this conversation with her yesterday, and I'm like, I understand that you want to be the best dancer, you want to be the best horsewoman, and you want to be the best actor, and you want to be the best singer. But you know what? You've got to focus on one. And I think that that's true for all of us. We've got to focus on first things first. Like what are you in the middle of? What are you good at? What are we going to focus on? And then all of these other things can come into play also. And I
Yeah.
think it's the same way. You don't want to skip around and, oh, I'll try this for 1 week and let's see how successful I get. And then I'll go over here and try this. Oh, dang, that didn't work. And it's been 2 weeks now. And oh my gosh, well, why am I not number one in that? I mean, come on, right? We've got to realize that we've got to focus on it and give it the amount of time that will really make a difference for us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, as we look at potential and the potential in people, again, entrepreneurship has unlimited potential in it. Now, if you're passionate about being a school teacher, but you also want to make $2 million a year, it's not going to happen because there's no potential to do that.
Right.
So, I mean, we're just making the point that looking for things that you have talents in, that you are excited about and have some, passion's obviously important, but can you make it far in that profession you chose, and is the potential there to take you where you want to go? And a lot of people we meet every day, they pick something, a profession, and then they realize that they have 100, this ladder example, I think is the best one I ever heard. They got 100-foot dreams, but they're using a 40-foot ladder. I mean,
I like that.
You can work as hard as you want at your current job, but you could never make that much money. You could never impact that many people. You could never have any free time.
Right. Well, and I want to talk for a minute, Paul, about what could be stopping them. Yes, it's a 40-foot ladder. That's absolutely right. But something that I love, love, love about kids is that they don't have a lot of these limiting beliefs, I think sometimes,
Yeah.
that us grown-ups do. Right?
Yeah.
You know, you ask a 5-year-old, what do you want to be? Oh, I'm going to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be this. Oh, I'm going to be that. Oh, I'm going to, you know what I mean? And it's so fascinating to me when a lot of times it's like, be like a little child. Well, that I can see is one of the ways that, because I think we get into these things where, and I think a lot of times the only things that are holding us back are the limiting beliefs that we've had or that we have because of something that's happened to us in our past that has
Yeah.
nothing to do with today.
Yeah. So
Right.
let's go through these limiting beliefs, the common
Sure.
ones. The first one's my favorite. I'm not good enough. So like, where in the world did you get that from?
Yeah. Who
You know,
told you that?
someone someone told you a story that you're not
Mhm.
good enough
Yeah.
and you bought it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I'm not good enough.
Oh, yep. I'm not pretty or thin enough. Well, who's deciding that? Like,
Yeah.
anyway, I don't even, that makes me so angry. I can't even,
The
right?
next one I love, either I'm too old or I'm too young. Now you hear either one. So I'm too young to
I'd
do
like
that.
someone to tell me the exact right age so
Yeah.
that then I can look forward to that as long as I'm not over that age yet.
Yep. But people say, I'm too old, too young, too thin, too fat, too this, too that. I mean, they're just, it goes, and it's just a story.
Yeah. Then the next one is my favorite one. I'm not smart enough or I don't know enough. Who said that?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Right?
just to be transparent, you did buy into that you're like, oh, I'm
Oh,
not smart.
forever.
Yeah.
Forever I bought into that. And now, it's been so eye-opening, right? That to know that whole belief was from my past has
Yeah.
nothing to do with today.
And the
And I think it's
transformation
hard.
you've made in understanding that you are smart, in
Oh,
fact, that you're brilliant. I mean, you're a monster now because you know this, but no, just
yeah, I
yeah,
am.
she just is really, really embraced this belief that she's smart now, which is great. I mean, you
Wait,
are super smart. And we, one of the ways that you did that, Cheryl, was from what you told me, is that you look for evidence.
right.
I pointed some things out to you, and then you looked at some other
Yeah.
things and said, you know what, you're right. I couldn't do those things if I wasn't smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think
you're
that's
pointing to
absolutely right.
wins.
Yeah. And I think it's so important, moms, for us to do that for our kids too, because, they hear so many different things and I think that if they realize that, I mean, I bet you I drive my kids absolutely crazy because whenever they come up with any of these, and my kids are teenagers now, right? And so we get a lot of this stuff some of the time, and it's just like, oh no, absolutely not. Now, who told you that? And where are you getting that? And why do you think that? I mean, you should, like, no, right? Because I want them to just to know that that's not true, right? And then I think some of the other ones, Paul, these next couple we
Well,
hear
the
all the
best one, I
time.
want to do the best one because I don't have
Go ahead.
enough time. Is fascinating because we all have 168 hours in a week. I mean, it's the only thing in this world that's fair and equal, but it's the number one thing we hear from people. Oh, I just don't have time to do that. I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
like that is the most idiotic belief in the world because you have 168 hours this week. You have the rest of your life. You have unlimited time.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then another one is I don't have enough money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Just that lack mentality, belief that,
Well, I'll tell you this, you have enough money for what's important. Every single one of us do.
you have enough money to buy the things you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So no one will listen to me or care what I have to say. Okay. Some of these make me laugh because I'm like,
They're for
stop.
real, though.
I
I
mean,
know we laugh at them, but there's
I
people out there that
know.
say these things to themselves.
I know. And that right there, we need to stop. So if you're saying any of these things to yourself, stop right now, right? Don't pass go, don't collect $200. Do not continue to say these things. And becoming aware that you're saying them is half the battle.
Yeah. And this next one, I think, Cheryl, is just big, especially for women, from what I've seen. And I've actually heard from you in the past, but you've changed since then.
Sure.
But I can't be my real self or I'll be judged.
Yeah. Or people won't like me,
You won't like
or
me.
I'll be embarrassed, or, whatever, put whatever word you want in there. But yeah, absolutely. None of this is good. I mean, right? And then the last one is, I can't ask for what I want because I may get rejected. Well, heaven forbid, what if you don't get rejected?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I
So those are
mean-
big limiting beliefs. So hopefully one of those or a couple of those struck a chord inside you, like, you know what? I do say that. So I think those are great examples for people to know what a limiting belief even is. Then there's limiting beliefs about money. So just pick a couple of your favorites here, Cheryl, in this list here.
Well, my favorite, I don't even know if it's on here, but my favorite about limiting beliefs about money is money doesn't grow on trees.
Right. There you go. Now, what that's saying is that there's not enough money out there. There's not abundance.
That's right.
There's all the money in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of money out there, just not in your
Yeah,
checking
yeah.
account, but it's out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's the
yeah,
only
I'm
one I
not
want
good
to
with
talk
money. I'm
about.
always broke. Like, that's a really bad thing to say.
Yeah.
I never make enough money. Like, all these things are just that belief is how much potential you're going to have if you keep on saying, I will never make enough money. You're not tapping into any potential.
Oh,
You're
and
not
guess
taking any
what?
action.
You won't.
Yeah, you won't.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, because whatever you believe is exactly what's going to happen. It really is. So, and then we have limiting beliefs about love, right? And I think a big one here is I don't deserve to be loved. And I think whether you say that to yourself or not, I think that a lot of times that's something that we uncover.
Yeah.
As we get to know about ourselves more and learn more about ourselves.
Yeah. And the one that baffles me is love is too painful. So love is the best thing in the world. So how does it become too painful? Well, they're looking at past stories. Well, I have this past experience, and they're assuming that because I've had these past experiences, that all my future experiences will be the same. Which is our big point for this podcast, is that is not true at all. It's our decisions that determine our destiny, not our past, which everyone wants to go back to and look at. So think about our career. Now, we're in the health and wellness industry. So one of my favorites, Cheryl, here is that nobody wants to get healthy. We hear that all the time. I'm a health coach. I've talked to people out there that no one's interested in getting healthy.
Yeah. One of my favorite ones. Yeah, that's so amazing.
Yeah. Or no one has any money. No one has any money.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love the economy's bad.
Yeah.
Well, and then Paul, it's the economy's good.
Too good. Yep. Yep.
Too
No
good.
opportunity out there.
Okay. Oh my gosh, all of those make me laugh. I love I don't have enough experience. What?
Yeah, just go do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
as you would say, Cheryl, what does that have to do with anything?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a ton of these, you can read the notes, and we have a bunch of examples here you can read through. But the bottom line is that all of these beliefs, all these limiting beliefs, are made up stories, none of which are true. There's no truth to any of these. And you're like, well, Paul, that's wrong, because I could see in my past that blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, so that's my point, is that if you're basing this whole thing on a past story. So our beliefs come from results we've got in the past.
Right.
So the key to elevating your beliefs is to see the results as you want them to be, not as they are. And Cheryl, I know this is the big thing for you. Having that vision board is step number one.
You have to do it. And if you don't have that, please stop right now and make your vision board, because your vision board is simply the result that you want, right? It's the things that you want to have. So it's the result that you want. And I think it's super important to be able to see that every day, look at that every day, and be able to go back to that and continue to look at that. And then also, Paul, of course, your perfect story.
Yeah. What's the story you want to focus on? Not the one that's happened in the past. What your life was perfect. And I love the word perfect because you can write anything you want. Everyone's going to have,
Yeah.
100 people are going to have 100 different stories, but you can pick out any story you want and focus on that. But I want to get back to the vision board show, because I know this is something we're both passionate about. And it's not just looking at the vision board and seeing the house you want to buy or live in, but feeling as if it's already happened.
Mhm.
And feeling as this result's already happened. What that's going to do is it's going to change. Do you believe you can own a house like that? Well, of course I do, because I own it already. Like, you have to get to that place where the result is so real that it feels like it already happened. And you're actually grateful for the house you have now.
Right. And before, when I've done this, it's like, you have to sit and think about how you feel when you walk in the house. What are the smells that you have?
Yeah.
What's your favorite room? What is your favorite place to relax and to unwind? What does the kitchen look like? What are the foods you're going to prepare in the kitchen? What is in the kitchen? Do you have everything you need? I'm always looking for something in my kitchen. You know what I mean? But all of those things make it more and more and more and more and more real. The more detailed you can get. And believe me, I'm not a detailed person, but you have to do it.
It's a great point, because the more detailed you are, the more you're going to be able to change your beliefs, because again, you feel like you've already experiencing this. So to change your beliefs, to change your thoughts, to change your feelings, to change your actions, to change your results is going to happen super easily if you can change in your mind the results you're getting. So there's, like you said, Cheryl, there's 3 stories. Everyone gets to choose right now. What story do I want to focus on? I got my past story. I got things that are happening right now that I can tell you about, or I can tell you about how my perfect life looks like. And whichever story you decide to focus on is what will determine your destiny. I love change your story, change your life. And that's so true. So what are the 5 steps, Cheryl, to elevating your beliefs?
Well, number 1 is change your story, and then you change your beliefs, right? So if you change your story, your beliefs will change.
And that includes the vision board. Yeah.
You bet. Number 2, when you change your beliefs, you begin to tap into your true potential, which is essential, right? Number 3, your actions increase. Of course they do.
Of course they do.
Right?
Roger Bannister. Yeah.
That's right. Your actions increase, and then your results improve. And then remember, if your results are fantastic, then your beliefs just automatically improve.
Yeah. And even, Cheryl, even if your results aren't fantastic, as long as you can see them going up 1% and making progress, you're going to be like, maybe that vision board isn't pie in the sky. Maybe that can really happen. And, because I know we both, came from very average beginnings and sub-average beginnings. And, we didn't necessarily have the belief that we could do that, but, we had a vision, we pursued that. And as we saw us, as you saw yourself getting some results and making some progress, you're like, hey, maybe I could be good at this thing.
Right.
And then you just took off with it.
Yeah.
Because your belief increased that you could do this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love this last part, Paul, just in closing, is that we really need to be intentional about our beliefs.
Right? Yeah. So instead of having those limiting beliefs, actually sit down and decide, well, what do I want to believe? This is a great exercise to do. So what are some of the things that we wrote down, Cheryl, as far as intentional beliefs that you and I have?
Well, my favorite one is that I am absolutely certain that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Now, if you have that one, I'm not even sure you need a second one. Because the word all covers all things.
Yes.
I don't know why there's so many Christians out there that don't believe this.
Well, I think, and you know what's so funny is I don't even know is that they don't believe it. It's that I don't know as they think of it in this way, right? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, as long as it has to do with being religious or with being spiritual. But no,
Those are
that's not what
things,
it says.
but
Those are
his-
things.
he specifically put the word all in there. I don't know
That's
what
right.
all leaves out, but from
Well-
the understanding I have of the word all, it means everything.
That's right. That's exactly right. I completely agree with you. But I love the second one too. I am absolutely certain that things don't happen to me, they happen for me. I really like that one too.
Boy,
Those are
if
my
you
two.
can install that belief, you're gonna make massive progress. The next one, Cheryl, has been
Yes.
life-changing for me.
Yeah. It
I'm
has,
absolutely
and
certain that
is-
everything's figure outable.
Oh yeah.
So any situation I go into, like I have no idea how we're gonna do this, but we can figure it out.
Right.
And we do every single time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like the next one too. It's I am absolutely certain I never lose. I either win or I learn. And I really like that one.
Yeah, boy, embracing that belief is huge. Having the belief that I'm absolutely certain that the quality of my life depends on the quality of my emotions. I mean, when you that's true. So when you buy into that and understand that that has to be a core belief of yours, you become much more aware of your emotions, because you can be a billionaire who's angry and upset, and that's the quality of your life, angry, upset.
Yeah.
So money or success or any of that stuff means nothing if you're in a bad emotional place.
Yeah. That's absolutely right.
The next one, Cheryl, I love number 6.
All right. I am absolutely certain that I have everything in life, that I can have everything in life if I help enough people get what they want.
How good
I
is
love
that
that
one?
one.
Yeah.
That's really good. I love that one. And then the next one, number 7, is I am absolutely certain every man, woman, and child needs the 90 essential nutrients every day. And I 1000% believe that.
This is just a sheer fact. Yeah. So but it's one, you need to have that belief, and that is going to influence your actions, and that you'll actually take the 90 essential nutrients every
And
day.
your results.
Yeah, and get the results you're looking for as far as your health goes. But it really
Yeah.
starts, Cheryl, with the belief that I'm absolutely certain that my health is the most important thing I have. I mean, of course it is. If you're dead, you have nothing else. So,
Well, if you're sick, you don't,
Can't do anything.
if you're sick, listen, no, you cannot. And your whole, I've met so many people that their whole life is tied up with pain and agony and ill health and
it's
all
just
of
one
these
thing
things.
after another. Yeah.
Oh, and to do something as simple as take the 90 and get the results that you want, it's just fascinating to me.
Yeah.
But I really believe that does have to be a core belief. Those two
Yeah.
things.
So
I love it,
our
Paul.
+1 for today, Cheryl, is what?
The story you choose to focus on is what will drive your beliefs, and your beliefs drive everything else.
Yeah. So to close out here, we encourage you to elevate your beliefs, because we know that our beliefs are going to drive everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you do that, you will be able to move from fine to fabulous.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, Cheryl, great job. This awesome podcast. Hope everybody got some value out of this. And we will see you on Thursday when we pick up our leadership topic, which we're moving through the 21 laws of leadership. So we're really excited about this, that course we're running now, Cheryl. And these Tuesday mindset ones, if you missed any of the ones in the past, they're all recorded, obviously, because they're here. But I can't encourage you enough to go back and listen to, the one we did on thoughts, and, also all 6 of them, the past 6, are really going to make a difference in your life. So awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you soon.
Bye.